everyone. It's a huge welcome from us at Dal's Kitchen. This week is rather a busy week because as you know this weekend is Parsi New Year, so we've got a lot more orders coming, and as per your requests I am going to show you exactly what we have on the menu for Parsi New Year. We have decided to go with the all-time favorite Pulao Dal and chicken farcha and lagannu custard, out of which I will show you exactly how we do the Pulao with the Tansak dal, and I'll also show you how to prepare the lagannu custard. However, the farcha vlog is already there for you to watch. Let's start with getting the lamb on the hob because that's going to be slow cooked first. So here we have goat meat, 1 kilo of it, and I'm going to use that in 1 cup of beaten yogurt. This has to be a nicely dense yogurt, a rich one. 3 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste, which is homemade, and 1 tablespoon of salt, which I'm going to now mix up. Just put the goat meat, which is washed and ready to be marinated in the yogurt. If you keep the yogurt separately, then it will split as you cook it. So make sure you marinate your meat with the yogurt always. What you need to start with is 4 onions which are chopped. You start by putting the oil in a nice big pan like this. Once the oil heats up, we have to put our whole spices, which is cinnamon, star anise, mace, and black cardamom. I have already cooked the onions beforehand because ideally it needs to slow cook and really caramelize gently. So I've literally left the onions on very low heat for half an hour to 45 minutes to acquire this nice brown color. And these spices have already been added. This was just to show you. It's now time to add your ground spices first. So I have 2 tablespoons of chili powder, 1 tablespoon of Parsi sambar, half a teaspoon of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of cumin, ground cumin, and 2 tablespoons of dhana, which is coriander powder. Okay, let's put them all in. Make sure these fry really well. Finally slice 3 medium-sized tomatoes, which will give you your gravy. So you need to have quite a few tomatoes for 1 kilo of goat meat. And this is the consistency it should be. Let's give this a good stir in for another 5 minutes on a nice hot flame. And the yogurt will make your gravy nice and rich. It will give it some density. Ideally, this goat meat should be slow cooked for at least an hour. I have added enough water to just cover the meat. You can always keep adding more if it dries up too much. You just need a little bit of gravy. Don't forget to add the salt. There is already salt on the meat. So I'm just going to go for 1 teaspoon to start with. When I taste it later, you'll see if more is required. As you see the liquid boiling, I'm just going to close the saucepan and reduce it to simmer. So let's get started with frying potatoes. Here I have cubed 2 big potatoes, and that's more than enough for 5 of us. I'm just going to add a tiny bit of salt. Also going to add the tiniest pinch of magic masala. You can just put your chili powder just to kind of give it a little bit of flavor. These potatoes are going to slow cook again. Let's keep it on a very low flame, and let's get on with the Tansak dal now. The dal needs to be pressure cooked. It will cook faster that way. If you don't have a pressure cooker, you can always cook it on the hob. Now I have soaked dal overnight. I have used this cup as a measurement. These are the 4 dal that I have used. You don't need to use all 4 dals. Start with 1 whole cup of your oily tur dal, half a cup of chana dal, half a cup of masoor dal, and half a cup of moong dal. Put them all in the pressure cooker. Just soak it overnight with water. Drain out the water and then again fill it up hot water from the kettle. I would just fill 1.5 times the amount of dal that there is in a pressure cooker. And don't forget, when I put the ingredients, the level will increase. Let's season the dal by putting 2 teaspoons of salt. Tansak dal is full of vegetables. It's very healthy. So I have half an aubergine, needs to be just roughly chopped, 2 tomatoes, 200 grams of pumpkin. You can also substitute this with sweet potato, 1 large onion which is roughly chopped, some spinach, like a handful of spinach, and I've just got some coriander stalks with a bit of coriander. The only ground spices I will keep is 1 teaspoon of turmeric and 2 teaspoons of coriander powder and 1 whole block of jaggery or gul. The dal will also take around 20 minutes in the pressure cooker. I'm keeping this vegetarian. If you're a meat lover, it's fine to add some meat bones. Make sure you keep them nice and big so you can take them out easily after you cook them. I have put the cooker on the hob. When this starts smoking, I will put the whistle on. The key to any good pulao or biryani is to add some saffron milk. I'm just using half a cup of milk. I'll microwave it for a minute and a half. Just gonna add a nice big pinch of saffron, very hot milk, and I'll just leave it infused with it to flavor the milk. I have 4 cups of long grain rice that I've soaked for over 2 hours. I use the draining method. It doesn't matter how much ever water I put, and this needs to be nearly cooked, al dente. Water is boiling, in goes the rice. But the rice is almost cooked. I'm now draining off the water. It's time to put our pulao together in this big pot. So in this bowl, I've got 2 tablespoons of oil, and this salt is only for the rice. In we have some bay leaf, green cardamom, black cardamom, mace, star anise seed. We have cinnamon, cloves, and peppercorns. And let's chuck it all in. Give it a bit of a stir, and let's add your rice, which is almost cooked. Let's mix this up. You need to make sure all the salt covers the rice. I'm also going to put my saffron milk and see how beautifully it has acquired a color. So I'm just going to start with the lamb first. Some gravy. Then let's keep the rice. I'm just going to do 2 layers. Let's not forget our fried potatoes. Scatter them around. Now this is the beauty of pulao. You can cook your gravy and the rice separately and mix it the way you want it. So if you like a really wet pulao, more gravy, let's top it up with rice. So it has to really cook. I'm going to put foil. Make sure you have a good saucepan with a tight lid. Start off with a high heat for a minute and then reduce the flame, the lowest point, for 10 minutes. After that, let it rest for half an hour at least. Our dal's been pressure cooked for a good 20 minutes. Now, as you can see here, the vegetables have completely pulped down and the dal has broken down. You just need to do the tempering, and this is exactly what the masala is. This is freshly blended garlic. I've used 10 green chilies and 1 tablespoon of cumin, and I have blitzed it in a hand blender. 2 huge tablespoons of Farsi sambar, and then of course your dansak masala. In my frying pan here, I've got quite a bit of oil. Now you can also put ghee because that will add a really good rich taste. So I'm going to start with the wet one, which is your garlic and green chilies. Kind of roughly break it down. And now I'm going to add the sambar and the dansak masala. Now I would ideally like this masala to look a little bit more red. I'm going to add the tiniest bit of chili powder. Really important to fry this masala. I have now brought the dal back on the hob, which I shall add the dansak masala. And this now has to further boil for at least 10 minutes with the masala. You can see how the color of the dal is gradually changing to now hand blitz it. Masala, I have given it 10 minutes to boil, and I'm going to now switch it off. If you make the dal on the previous day, make sure you leave the dal open and cool it completely before you refrigerate it. Let's open up, and this is my excitement every time I make my biryani every Saturday to see how it looks. I will now put coriander, fried onions, you have your sliced egg. I can't wait to tuck into this. I'm gonna taste the dal first. Of course I'll say that. Job well done. My people are going to love this dish on Sunday when I remake it. It's delicious, guys. Please try this. If any of you try my dishes, please do send me a comment or message and let me know how it's worked for you. I get great pleasure in finding out that people are actually using my recipes. So as always, love from London on a very hot day. Hope you enjoy it. Until then, goodbye. Bye.